have a couple of old friends here who want to say hello.
Hello.
Okay. I'll tell you the whole story.
Did you know that a single scene from 2.5 Men changed the entire course of the series? Get ready to uncover the hidden secrets behind the scenes, the conflicts that divided the cast, and how personal tensions almost ended one of the most successful shows on television. In this video, we'll reveal the untold story of 2.5 Men.
Ludus. Will you marry me?
Exploring the clashes between the actors, the decisions made by the creators, and how off-screen drama affected the series we all know and love. 2.5 Men was one of the most watched comedies of its time, but the real show happened behind the scenes. Join me as we break down the moments that put its future at risk and how controversial decisions redefined its legacy.
Funny story. She kind of kept it, and we're kind of getting married.
The rise of Charlie Sheen and the creation of an icon. From the very first episode, Charlie Sheen made an indelible mark with his portrayal of Charlie Harper on 2.5 Men. As the highest-paid member of the cast, his character, a wealthy jingle composer with a carefree, party-loving lifestyle, became the heart and soul of the show. Throughout the early seasons, his chemistry with Jon Cryer and Angus T. Jones took the show to new heights, never before seen in television. The way Sheen balanced his character's arrogance with moments of genuine vulnerability gave the show a unique authenticity that captivated millions of viewers. The success of the show was immediate.
But I just woke up one day and said, I deserve better.
And Charlie Harper became a television icon. Charlie's hedonistic lifestyle, sarcastic humor, and ability to attract women while wreaking havoc in the lives of others reflected what many thought was the idealized life of a successful man, free from responsibilities. This playboy image embodied by Sheen resonated with an audience that enjoyed watching how someone so seemingly carefree handled the most absurd situations with humor and disdain. But as the series progressed, what began as a light and fun comedy soon became overshadowed by Sheen's personal problems. Although initially his off-screen life didn't impact his performance, Sheen's issues quickly made tabloid headlines. As his erratic behavior and drug addiction became more public, production began to feel the effects. Sheen's days on set grew more unpredictable, and his ability to maintain the image of the show's star started to crumble. Sheen's personal downfall was reflected in his work, but his chemistry with other cast members, especially Jon Cryer, remained a crucial pillar of the series. While Cryer often commented on how professional Sheen was on set, as the seasons went on, tensions grew. The character of Charlie Harper was no longer just an ironic figure bringing humor. He became a more complex character, marked by the weakness of his own personal life. Charlie Sheen's downward spiral. As 2.5 Men reached new heights of popularity, Charlie Sheen's decline off-screen also intensified. His struggle with drugs and erratic public behavior became impossible to ignore. From public arrests to derogatory comments about the show's producers, Sheen became a figure both admired and feared. In 2009, his arrest in Aspen, Colorado, after an altercation with his wife, Brooke Mueller, highlighted the severity of his issues. This not only damaged his personal image, but also jeopardized the future of the show, as producers had to deal with Sheen's increasing instability while trying to keep production running. The situation worsened when Sheen started lashing out in interviews, publicly insulting Chuck Lorre, the show's creator. In a famous 2011 interview with ABC News, Sheen called Lorre an asshole and a god of mediocrity, marking the start of a public war between them. The tension this created was palpable on set, and though Sheen tried to continue filming, his erratic behavior only worsened, ultimately affecting the morale of the cast and crew. The hiatus in Season 8 in 2011 was a desperate attempt to give Sheen time to deal with his issues, but his refusal to seek help and his growing contempt for the show led to his eventual departure. Sheen's collapse off-set was so dramatic that many fans began to wonder if 2.5 Men could survive without him. Despite everything, the series moved forward. And while Sheen was replaced by Ashton Kutcher, the shadow of his departure and his downward spiral remained etched in the show's history. The controversy and scandal surrounding Sheen only served to heighten Two and a Half Men's notoriety, turning what had initially been a light comedy success into a show full of real-life drama, both on and off camera. The unique charm of Berta. Thanks to Conchata Ferrell. Of all the supporting characters that helped make Two and a Half Men a success, Berta, the sarcastic housekeeper played by Conchata Ferrell, won the hearts of viewers. With her sharp humor and straightforward attitude, Berta quickly became an essential pillar of the show, always adding something unique to each episode. Ferrell, who was initially hired for only a couple of episodes, not only surprised the creators of the series, but also captivated the audience with her authentic, unfiltered performance.
But then again, when I first came on, I was supposed to be...
In an interview with the AV Club, Ferrell revealed that the producers initially wanted her character to have a European accent, but she decided that the right tone would be much rawer and more direct, inspired by the type of people you might find in a trailer park. This approach perfectly suited Berta's character and allowed the actress to bring one of the most memorable characters to life on the show. Berta was much more than just a comedic character. She was the soul of the house, and in many ways, the voice of reason amid the chaos surrounding the other characters. Ferrell also formed close relationships with her co-stars, particularly with Angus T. Jones. They shared a love for reading and video games, which made them close friends off-set. Today, Conchata Ferrell's performance on Two and a Half Men remains one of the most beloved in television history. If you haven't seen her work on the show, we recommend not missing her performance in the episode Camel Filters and Pheromones from the first season, an excellent example of her ability to deliver comedy naturally and endearingly. Reasons behind Angus T. Jones's exit from the show. Angus T. Jones, who played the clumsy but lovable Jake Harper, went through a significant personal transformation during his time on Two and a Half Men. Throughout the seasons, his character evolved from a mischievous child who didn't care much for school to a more complicated teenager dealing with issues like marijuana use and a lack of focus in his life.
Honestly, maybe a few months before, and he was.
However, Jones's departure from the show wasn't just about his character. It was tied to a deep personal shift. During the 10th season, Jones gave a controversial interview in which he openly criticized the show's content, telling viewers that they should stop watching because of its inappropriate nature. These comments caused a media uproar, and although he later apologized for his remarks, it marked the beginning of his distance from the show. The reason for his exit stemmed from a significant change in his religious life, as he began to distance himself from the entertainment industry to focus more on his Christian beliefs. Jones went on to describe himself as a paid hypocrite and aligned himself with the controversial pastor Christopher Hudson, known for his extreme views. Although his departure was controversial, fans were delighted to see Jones return in the series finale, where it was revealed that his character Jake Harper had turned his life around by joining the military, getting married, and making a fortune in Las Vegas. His appearance in the Two and a Half Men finale gave fans a nostalgic and satisfying conclusion to his character's journey. Throughout his time on the show, Jones was one of the highest-paid child actors, and his portrayal of Jake remains one of the series' most beloved. The controversial season finale scene. The controversy surrounding Two and a Half Men in Season 9 marked a crucial turning point for the series. After Charlie Sheen's substance abuse problems and his subsequent entry into rehab, production was halted. However, Sheen was replaced by Ashton Kutcher, who joined the cast as Walden Schmidt, an internet millionaire who purchased Charlie's beach house after his supposed death in Paris. The way the creators chose to handle Charlie's death was grotesque and comedic, a clear indication of the irreverent tone that defined the season. The most surprising twist came at the end of the season when Charlie reappeared, but in an unexpected way, portrayed by Kathy Bates, who presented him trapped in the body of an older woman. In the final episode of the series, Sheen's character was crushed by a piano that fell from above,
Man, I don't know how he does it. I made a big play for her, nothing.
marking the strange and biting conclusion to the storyline. The creators tried to bring Sheen back for a parody of drug abuse, but he rejected the offer, seeking a more serious return with a possible spin-off titled The Harpers. The series finale left a bittersweet taste, concluding 12 seasons with a controversial touch that made history in television. Charlie Sheen's insults and Chuck Lorre's near exit. The war between Charlie Sheen and Chuck Lorre not only affected their personal relationship, but also jeopardized the future of Two and a Half Men. During this period, Sheen didn't hesitate to make derogatory remarks about Lorre, calling him a clown on several occasions. These constant attacks undermined the producer's authority, creating a tense and combative atmosphere on set.
There was a Job type of quality to these characters, so we have these archetypes.
According to reports from Entertainment Weekly, the stress deeply affected Lorre, who considered quitting the series in 2011 due to the ongoing friction with Sheen. However, despite the tension, CBS decided to back Lorre and made the decision to fire Sheen, citing ethical reasons rather than financial ones. After Sheen's departure, Lorre faced uncertainty about the future of the show. Although he considered focusing on other projects like Mike and Molly and The Big Bang Theory, the syndication deals for Two and a Half Men, and the need to find a suitable replacement for Sheen were key factors in the decision to continue the series. This plot twist in the show, marked by Sheen's exit and Ashton Kutcher's entrance, sealed Two and a Half Men's legacy as one of the most dramatic and controversial stories in television history. Hugh Grant, the near replacement for Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen's departure from Two and a Half Men left a difficult void to fill. The producers knew they couldn't rely solely on Alan Harper, played by John Cryer, to carry the show, so they began searching for a new lead. One of the names that came up was Hugh Grant, who was close to taking on the role. In an interview with Howard Stern, Grant revealed that the producers offered him a multi-million-dollar contract of $1 million per episode. However, he turned down the offer because they wanted him to sign the contract before the character's script had even been written. Grant expressed his discomfort, stating, "I'm too scared to sign without a script," which led him to walk away from the deal. Though Grant later joked about regretting not accepting the offer, especially after realizing the enormous earnings of TV stars in the US, his decision allowed Ashton Kutcher to take the role, which turned out to be a successful addition and a new phase for the series. Angus T. Jones's hidden family scandals and his life after the show. Despite being known for his role as Jake Harper on Two and a Half Men, Angus T. Jones led a much more complex and darker life off-screen. In a shocking twist, it was revealed that his family had been involved in several legal scandals. His uncle, Eric Eugene Claypool, was sentenced to 99 years in prison for shooting a man who had abused him during his adolescence. Additionally, Jones's parents also had their own legal issues. His mother, Carrie Jones, was arrested in 1992 for assaulting a police officer while intoxicated, and later for theft in 1997. In another incident, she accused her husband of assault, leading to his arrest. Angus's father also faced charges for illegal possession of a firearm in 1986. After leaving Two and a Half Men, Jones decided to step away from the public spotlight and seek a quieter, more focused life. He enrolled at the University of Colorado to study Jewish studies, although in 2016, he decided to take a break to spend time with his younger brother, Otto. Far from organized religion and the public eye, Jones found a new path by co-founding a production company with Justin Combs, the son of P. Diddy, in 2015. Despite this change in direction, Jones didn't completely rule out his acting career, making a brief appearance in Horace and Pete, 2016, by Louis C.K. Although his future in Hollywood remains uncertain, his life post Two and a Half Men continues to be a topic of interest. The fall with CBS and Chuck Lorre. The tensions between Charlie Sheen and the producers of 2.5 Men reached their peak as the actor's erratic behavior became increasingly evident.
Sure, no, he's a professional, and I must tell you, it was really gratifying last night. The audience...
After a series of verbal attacks and public controversies, Sheen crossed the line in a memorable TMZ interview where he insulted Chuck Lorre, the creator of the series. This not only fueled the flames of controversy, but also prompted CBS and Warner Bros. To take drastic action. In March 2011, after weeks of hurtful statements, CBS and Warner Bros. Terminated Sheen's contract, citing his inappropriate moral conduct as the main reason. Although Sheen had been a key part of the success of 2.5 Men, the constant off-screen crisis began to negatively affect production. What once seemed like an unstoppable star was now witnessing his career crumble under the public's gaze. This firing, though expected by many, represented a significant financial blow both to Sheen and the network. The actor, who earned $1.8 million per episode, left a void not only in the heart of the show, but also in CBS's revenue. The impact was even greater, as 2.5 Men had been one of the most profitable shows on television, and his exit meant a huge restructuring for the show and its producers. The financial impact of Sheen's exit. Charlie Sheen's firing wasn't just a creative loss for 2.5 Men, but also a major financial blow.
You know, I was enjoying my weeks off from that other show and, sort of up in arms about my behavior.
At the peak of his career on the show, Sheen earned $1.8 million per episode, making him one of the richest actors on television. This salary equaled nearly $100 million annually for CBS, making 2.5 Men one of the most lucrative productions of its time. However, after his dismissal, Sheen faced the consequences of his excessive lifestyle and addiction problems. Despite earning vast sums of money during his time on the show, his fortune was quickly drained by his lavish spending, ostentatious purchases, and out-of-control lifestyle. His net worth, which at one point exceeded $150 million, plummeted dramatically. Today, Sheen's estimated net worth is close to $10 million, a far cry from what he once had. This turn in his fortune serves as a cautionary tale of how fame, excess, and a lack of control can cause even the most successful to fall. Sheen's legacy is now a warning about the high cost of fame when it is not properly managed. Angus T. Jones, the heart of the show. While Sheen's scandal and tensions with Chuck Lorre shook the foundation of 2.5 Men, Angus T. Jones, who played Jake Harper, became one of the most stable figures on the show.
It's not too difficult. I have the help of an awesome studio teacher, Ronald Gordon.
Throughout the early seasons, Jake was the character who brought the innocent touch of comedy. His chemistry with the lead actors, Charlie Sheen and John Cryer, made him a fan favorite. As the series progressed, Jake's character evolved. From an innocent child, he transformed into a teenager who, as he grew, started losing some of his intellectual spark. Jokes about his lack of academic skills became one of Jake's defining traits. A memorable moment was when Jake confused the letter O in million with a zero, highlighting his increasing clumsiness and lack of focus. However, beyond his role on the show, Angus T. Jones's evolving perspective on the program was equally significant. As the actor grew older, he began to feel that 2.5 Men's content no longer aligned with his personal values. In 2012, when he was 19, Jones shocked the world by publicly declaring that he no longer wanted to be part of the show, even urging viewers to stop watching. This statement was an unexpected turn, especially since his character Jake remained one of the most popular. Jones expressed discomfort with the show's adult themes and explicit situations, which he no longer found appropriate for himself. Although his stance was brave, it cost him his place on the program. However, his departure from 2.5 Men marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life, one focused more on personal and spiritual growth. The reality of Ashton Kutcher's role. When Ashton Kutcher joined 2.5 Men, his decision surprised many.
I just kind of stopped listening to things that Charlie Sheen says.
With a successful career in film, his return to sitcoms seemed like a step backward. However, in an interview with Howard Stern, Kutcher explained that he accepted the role of Walden Schmidt because of the financial potential the show offered. An agent connected to the series explained that if the show was renewed for 2 more seasons, the syndication deals could generate significant financial benefits. After learning that Charlie Sheen earned $1.8 million per episode, Kutcher negotiated a contract worth $700,000 per episode, committing to 4 seasons. While Kutcher faced the challenge of stepping into Sheen's large shoes as Walden, he trusted the vision of producer Chuck Lorre to develop the character.
Good for me. I have filtered water in the kitchen.
In addition to his acting career, Kutcher has made millions through investments in Fortune 500 companies, allowing him to amass an estimated net worth of $200 million. Sheen's constant resentment and the final confrontation with Chuck Lorre. Despite his departure from 2.5 Men, Charlie Sheen continued harboring deep resentment toward Chuck Lorre. In 2017, in an interview on the Kyle and Jackie O show, Sheen lashed out at Lorre, using vulgarities and telling him to go to hell. Sheen, who had claimed to generate $4 billion for Warner Brothers, continued his attacks on Lorre, accusing him of exploiting his work. This was not Sheen's first public attack on Lorre. In 2015, a TMZ video captured Sheen threatening Lorre, suggesting that the producer felt so secure he could end Sheen's character with a public broadcast. Sheen also referred to Lorre with derogatory nicknames like Insignificant Worm and Ugly Weasel, accusing him of being fake and insecure. Despite continuing to work in Hollywood, Sheen never regained the fame he once had, and his relationship with Lorre became one of the most talked about and controversial in television history. Charlie Sheen versus Ashton Kutcher, the drama and reconciliation. The feud between Charlie Sheen and Ashton Kutcher was one of the most dramatic aspects of 2.5 Men following Sheen's departure. Sheen used his Twitter account to attack Kutcher, but the latter did not remain silent. Throughout the controversy, Kutcher responded firmly to Sheen's comments, refusing to be intimidated. Over time, Sheen's attacks on Kutcher began to lose impact. In a later interview, Sheen reflected on his past behavior and admitted that he understood how difficult it had been for Kutcher to step into the role of Walden, comparing it to his own experience replacing Michael J. Fox on Spin City. Eventually, the tension between the 2 actors dissipated. At a later event, Sheen and Kutcher met at a baseball game where they shook hands and showed camaraderie while supporting the local team. This shared experience helped heal the wounds of their tense relationship, leaving behind old grudges and marking a closure to one of Hollywood's most public feuds. Sheen's reflections on his past mistakes. Personal and professional conflicts are not rare in the entertainment industry, but in Charlie Sheen's case, his grudge against Chuck Lorre intensified to extreme levels, fueled by his tiger blood, defiant attitude. Despite what seemed like an irreparable break with Lorre, time has shown its power as a healer. In an interview with The Guardian, Sheen expressed regret over how he handled his departure from 2.5 Men, acknowledging that his impulsive decisions only worsened the situation. He also confessed to People magazine that he could have approached the conflict in a more mature and thoughtful way. Sheen also reflected on his public breakdown in 2015, explaining in an interview with Yahoo Entertainment that his focus on a chaotic and controversial life led him to an early exit from the public eye and a loss of direction in his career.
Hey, Michelle, did you know I have a house on the beach?
Despite the ups and downs, Sheen now views those moments as opportunities for personal growth. In a more intimate revelation, he recalled when CBS CEO Le Moonves offered him a private jet to enter rehab, an offer he rejected at the time. Today, Sheen acknowledges how wrong many of his decisions were, but also how those experiences have led to a deeper understanding of himself. Despite his turbulent past, the fact that Sheen openly speaks about his regrets opens the door to the possibility of a future reconciliation with Laurie. This shows that in Hollywood, broken relationships can often be mended with time, and Sheen's return to the industry, though uncertain, is not entirely off the table. The possibility of a return to Two and a Half Men or a reboot. The possibility of a return to Two and a Half Men or even a reboot of the series has been a topic of discussion for years, but John Cryer remains cautious about it. While he doesn't completely rule out the idea, Cryer is aware of the complications stemming from his complicated past relationship with Charlie Sheen. Although special appearances could be a simpler way to reunite, Cryer is unsure about committing to a project that would involve prolonged creative collaboration given the unresolved tensions between him and Sheen. Despite the behind-the-scenes dramas, Two and a Half Men remains one of the most successful sitcoms in television history. The show was a cornerstone of CBS's programming, with 12 seasons and 262 episodes that left an indelible mark on the TV landscape. At its peak, the series attracted over 17 million viewers, an impressive achievement in today's fragmented TV audience. The success of Two and a Half Men underscores the lasting impact it has had on television, despite the personal and professional scandals that have marked its journey. While its future may seem uncertain, the show's legacy remains strong, and its mark on the industry is far from fading. The legacy of Two and a Half Men. Although Two and a Half Men became one of the most successful comedies on television, its legacy is built not only on its incredible comedic moments and cultural impact, but also on the intense dramas behind the scenes. From Charlie Sheen's personal struggles that ultimately led to his firing, to Angus T. Jones's change of perspective on the show's content, the cast's history is as tumultuous as the show itself. The journey of Two and a Half Men is marked by highs and lows, Sheen's meteoric rise, the crisis of his personal life, and the departure of a key actor like Jones, all while the show continued to win audiences over during its seasons. This clash between the shine of comedy and the weight of personal challenges created a parallel narrative that left a lasting impact on fans and the history of television. The legacy of Two and a Half Men is a testament to how off-camera chaos can not only affect the actors, but also shape the identity of a show in ways that few programs manage.